everyone, it's Natalie. Sorry I hadn't made a video in about a month, but during the holiday season, I get very busy. I had to go out of state for a little bit of time. I had my mother come visit. I was dealing with some animal issues. I do have a child that we had to go to holiday parties and school functions and things like that. But I'm coming on here to make sure that you guys had a good Christmas. And that you were able to use some of my techniques that I have suggested during these times that you had to spend with your narcissist. I really hope that the time that you did have to spend with them, that you were able to use the techniques in a way that protected yourself. But, I found myself not really wanting to do videos lately, not only because I was busy, but because I'm healing. And the more that I heal, the more that I don't think about it, the more that I'm able to live my life in a normal fashion without having that hamster wheel, the PTSD or CPTSD continuously following me around. And this is signs that I'm healing. And I thought by coming on here and just kind of sharing some of my experiences of what's helping me heal and stop, having this hypervigilance in my everyday life, is to give suggestions to you that, number one, you're worthy. You are a special human being, and anyone that is willing to tolerate that type of abuse for love, you're a strong person. You're a strong person. Just having to tolerate that makes you a very strong person. And I can tell you that it took many years, because I've been no contact for almost over 3 years now. And it took many years to get to the point where I am today. And I get so many messages and emails from people asking, Natalie, I want to be where you are. And what I can tell you is that you have to start focusing on loving yourself. Because what the narcissist does is they make you seem like you're not an important person. They make it seem as though that you are an evil person that came into their life and destroyed their family. But the truth is that when you came into this family, you had good intentions. You came into this family to make it a happy, joyful, loving experience in this family, to bring joy to this family. And because you didn't know at first that you had a narcissist as a mother-in-law or a father-in-law, it really hit you hard when you started kind of figuring out everything that was going on. And it does take time because at first you think, well, maybe the mother is just being a little protective, and things will calm down. But then over time, you see these signs that things aren't getting better, things are getting worse. And I do have a list that I would like to read to you, and maybe you can check off these things that you have experienced coming into this narcissistic family cult. So my in-laws are probably narcissistic because, number one, they're overly involved in your partner's life. Number two, they call or text too often. 3, they come over unannounced and or several times a week. 4, they need to be the center of attention even when it is not appropriate. 5, they make nasty comments about me only when my partner is not around. And most of the time, they do it behind your back to your partner too. Let's see, was it 6? 7, they do not respect our boundaries at all. 8, they guilt trip my partner into doing things for them, or guilt trip you into doing things for them that you really don't want to do. 8, A great day with them is usually followed by a breakdown on their side, moodiness, anger, or sadness. Or a great day with them could have you have moodiness or anger or sadness and be upset after leaving them. Okay, I think I'm on 9. Maybe my numbers are off. 9. They would respond in disappointing ways when we announce something big like marriage, pregnancy, buying a house, moving abroad. 10. I have a feeling that they are trying to isolate me from my partner with their manipulative behavior. 11. They change or twist facts in their favor. 12. Their sarcastic jokes often make me feel unwelcome, unloved, unwanted, or disliked. 13. They become upset or angry when one of us disagree with them. So most of all of us can put a check mark on that whole list. And when you are coming to the realization that you're dealing with narcissistic in-laws, and, to be honest, it really breaks your heart, because you have these, as a little girl or as a little boy, you have a dream of meeting your Prince Charming or your princess, and you think that you're going to get together and have this big, beautiful family with them, and that you gain a second family, and you gain support, and you gain love, and you're cherished, and you're welcomed. But then that doesn't happen. And when you don't get that, when you have looked forward to that your whole life, it can traumatize you. And it's really unfair to us. But what I can tell you is accept it. Accept the fact that you did not get the person or the people that you deserved. And when you come to that realization and you accept the fact that these people have these traits of narcissistic personality disorder, you can say, okay, I know there's something wrong with them. It's not me. I'm not the one with the problem. I was coming into this family to bring more love, and instead I got rejected. And so when you know this, what you do is you stop letting them take control of your life, because that's what it feels like. Because you're so dedicated to proving to these narcissistic in-laws that you're not who they say you are or think you are, and that their accusations and lies about you aren't true. When you're in that position, when you're trying to prove to these people that you're not that person, all you're doing is wasting your time. Because the more you try to prove to these people that you're a good person, the harder they are on you. And so what you do is you excuse yourself from that relationship, and you start loving yourself. You start taking that energy that you've wasted on trying to prove to these people that you're a good daughter-in-law, and you start taking that energy and investing it in people that love you, that cherish you, that know who you are and know that you're a good person, who appreciate you for who you are, who sees who you are as a good person. You invest in people that invest in you. And when you don't have your in-laws investing in you, then stop investing in them. And if you have to be around these people because of numerous reasons, what I can tell you I did was I was just quiet around them. I didn't speak to them unless I had to. I didn't share any of my life events with them. I didn't share any of my traumas with them, any of my disappointments, any of my achievements. Because you know why? Because they don't deserve it. People, when you share intimate details about your life with people, it's with the people that cherish you and deserve to know these things about you. But when you're dealing with narcissistic in-laws who don't invest in you, then sharing things like that, they don't have that. What's the word I'm looking for? I'm sorry, brain fart. They don't have the opportunity, not the opportunity. Look at me. See, I need to edit. They don't deserve to know anything about you. They don't get the privilege. I'm sorry, privilege. They don't have the privilege of knowing anything like that about you, because privilege is earned. Trust and respect is earned. And when you have someone who is not showing you any of those things, and who is disrespecting you, and is not earning any loyalty or trust or love, or have any investment in you, then you don't invest in them. And so when you're around them, what you do is you love yourself. And you show those people that you're living the best life you can live, and you don't care who's watching. You don't care what their opinion is. You don't care what they have to say about you. So when I was around my in-laws, I kept to myself. Like I said, I didn't share anything. I had a conversation with my husband a long time ago that we were not going to share anything about our life with these people. So everything was very surface. You have to accept the fact that these in-laws don't like you. They don't want you in their child's life. They don't consider you family. They don't want you in their family. So you basically just kind of keep to yourself, tend to your own emotional needs, and stop trying to prove to these people the person that you are. Because the people that love you know who you are. And that's why they respect you and cherish you. And what I can tell you is that if your in-laws are crossing boundaries, I want you to stand up for yourself. I want you to stand your ground and let them know that no, that's not okay. And I don't care if it makes you feel uncomfortable or not, or if it makes them feel uncomfortable, or if you feel like it might be disrespecting them. They're disrespecting you by crossing boundaries. So who cares if you disrespect them? Because all they do is disrespect you. And so when they're crossing these boundaries, you make it known that you're not going to tolerate that. That this is your life. You're going to live it the way you want. And whatever opinions or decisions that they might have for your life is irrelevant to you. And you need to make it very clear that you cross a boundary, there's going to be a timeout for you. You won't be coming around my family, my children. You won't be engaging in holidays with me. I mean, the list can go on and on. So if you're at that point where your in-laws are crossing boundaries, you literally have to treat them like a child and put them in timeout. And you decide on how long that timeout's going to be, because it really depends on the boundary they cross. And if you're dealing with a partner who is not really backing you up and doesn't have your side, and you're having to do this on your own, you need to get into marriage counseling. Because you have to understand that these parents have made it where the child is unaware of the unhealthiness. They're unaware that their parents' behavior is abnormal. So let me read this. Unawareness, stage 1. Having a narcissistic mother-in-law most likely means that the child, your partner, has been exposed to emotional abuse, such as manipulation, blackmailing, splitting, gaslighting, and guilt tripping. A narcissistic parent uses these techniques to get what they want: control, power, satisfaction. They enjoy it when they can humiliate someone, that's for sure. For a child growing up in such condition, it is likely that they are unaware of the emotional abuse taking place and that they see their narcissistic parent as the person who is always right. They simply have no one else to compare to, and it's normal to assume that their parents are always right. Some children of narcissists can believe that their narcissistic parent is wonderful. The comparison with other families around them. When these children grow up and become adolescents or even adults, they may notice that other parents are usually kind-hearted and friendly. They may also notice that sometimes something is odd about the way things go at home. But that's as far as most children of narcissists go. In this stage, they are not ready to admit to themselves that their parents are not such good parents after all. And this is the huge mental obstacle, because it basically means that all they believed in is a lie. Their parents do not love them unconditionally. It is not normal to be blackmailed, guilt-tripped, and manipulated. In this stage, it is often the case that the child of the narcissist defends or trivializes their behavior. This stage could be very frustrating because you can see what's happening. You can look at their interactions and relationships with a healthy distance, and you can see how badly it affects your partner. At the same time, your partner isn't ready to see this, which creates a lot of tension and probably some fights as well. The relationship between you and your in-laws is likely that your mother-in-law tries to drive the two of you apart. Subtle comments where you feel insulted or unwanted, not accepted, are common examples of such behaviors. By actively opposing your mother-in-law or by complaining about their behavior a lot, she gets exactly what she wants: being in control of the situation. A narcissist who is in control of the situation is a very dangerous person. By complaining a lot or by opposing your in-laws, your partner feels forced to choose between the two of you. 9 out of 10 times, your narcissistic mother will act like a victim, which increases the chance that your partner will side with your in-laws. Beware of the fact that every significant person in your partner's life means that their narcissistic parent experiences less control over their child, and also that they get less desired attention from them. And this is something that is unacceptable. So you are the enemy. Another often used strategy narcissists use, especially when they are jealous of their own child, is to win over the friend and partner of their children. They do this by being charming or friendly to you while publicly or confidentially confidently down-talking your partner, their child. At first, you won't be aware of this strategy while your partner is suffering by the way they are being treated. It's even likely that you will start doubting your partner's complaining because your in-law is such a kind-hearted woman. If this is the case, then it is very likely you are not aware of the fact that you are dealing with a narcissistic mother-in-law. And I listed earlier, the list of the signs and stuff. So let me read this one little part because it's almost 20 minutes. What to do when you have a narcissistic mother-in-law. If your partner is not ready to admit to themselves that their partner may have a narcissistic personality disorder, their parent might have a narcissistic personality disorder, then it is important to take your time and approach the issue with care. Do not try to confront your partner with it, because it will most likely end up in a huge fight where your partner keeps defending the narcissistic parent. Instead, focus on details. Every time the narcissistic parent behaves in a narcissistic way, mention it to your partner in a subtle way. Make it look like an observation without judgment. At the same time, it's important to be supportive of your partner. Whenever your partner complains, try to be understanding. Whenever your partner has an issue with the narcissist, emphasize that your partner is not to blame. occasionally you can draw a parallel between a narcissist and the parent, but refrain from labeling your in-laws as narcissists. So it's difficult for me to talk to your dad because he always talks over the conversation and talks about himself. So that's something you could say that isn't going to be, rude. You can just mention different things like, well, when I'm talking, or, your mother over talks me, and, it's frustrating. Continuing. The narcissistic behavior can be frustrating, especially now that I want to share wonderful news with them. You can mention the fact that certain behavior is narcissistic, but not that your partner's dad or mom is narcissistic. In short, you suspect that you have a narcissistic mother-in-law. Don't force it upon your partner. Allow them to figure it out themselves. That is what I've always told you guys. At the same time, make sure you keep your distance. Do not take everything your in-laws say for granted. Take compliments with a grain of salt, and do not take insults personally. It is not about you. It's about the person their child is dating, which could be anyone, basically. Remember, guys, I told you, do not take it personally. It doesn't matter if it's you or Betty Sue down the road, or Jerry or Mike down the road, whoever it is. They were going to go through the same exact experience that you have went through, okay? So it's not you personally. It is because you entered into their child's life. Let me read stage 2, realization. This is the stage where your partner realizes that their parent is narcissistic. This usually comes about a shock and can have a huge impact on your partner. Suddenly, all your partner believed in was a lie or partially true. Their trust in others gets a blow, just like their self-esteem. For some children of narcissists, it's such a shock that they have trouble identifying who they really are. At the same time, the puzzle pieces start falling into places. Certain situations start making sense now. Why is Mama always super friendly to others but not me? Why do I always have the feeling Mama is jealous of me? This can be very upsetting to your partner because they may realize that their partner never loved their parent never really loved them the way they perceived it. For you, it may start to become clear as well, in case your narcissistic mother-in-law is jealous of your partner, their child, that your in-laws they are playing games. Feelings of confusion, anger, and shame are common. Talk about your feelings and the situations that took place with your partner when they are ready for it. How does our life change when your partner has a narcissistic parent and just starts realizing this? Stage 2 may be the most confusing stage. Despite the fact that you and your partner get a lot of answers, your partner will have even more questions and doubts. Whereas you want to take action and start setting healthy boundaries, your partner may become irritable, numb, angry, sad, and confused, sometimes all at the same time. Right now, your partner can't move on just yet. This can easily lead to small crisis if the two of you are not communicating well enough. So what to do when you have a narcissistic mother-in-law? I'll read this and then I'll end the video. The worst thing you can do is say things along the line of, I told you so, to your partner. This is what I've been trying to tell you this whole time. At the moment, it's not about you and your observations. It's about your partner and their feelings. Here are a few things you can do for your partner. Give your partner some time to process things. Do not demand change or action right away because your demands can backfire. Instead, let your partner come up with these suggestions. Be empathetic. I can imagine it's a shock to realize that X is a narcissist. Their parent is a narcissist. Find some good articles on narcissism and children of narcissistic parents or children of narcissists in particular and print them or mention them to your partner. Do not force them upon your partner. Take over some of your partner's daily tasks at home. Grocery shopping, cooking, cleaning, bringing the kids to bed, because they may need time to process. Do not ask your partner about their feelings all the time. It becomes annoying and it isn't helpful at all. Do not ask them if there is anything you can do for them now. If they need something, they will come to you and ask. Try to label certain behaviors are typical for narcissists. They will make it easier on you when they insult you and or your partner. So let's say you're dealing with your narcissistic in-laws. You need to start labeling the things that they're doing. That way you have, instead of complaining about it, you know the label and you know what they're doing. Stage 3, acceptance, adjust, change. Acceptance, adjustment, and change will be discussed all together because the overlap is continuously. Realizing that your parent is a narcissist is one thing, but accepting that new reality is a whole different thing. Not only is it difficult to accept that a healthy parent-child relationship is impossible, it is also difficult to accept certain behaviors, comments, and the way of behaving around others. Your partner may accept something on Monday, get furious over it on Tuesday, and feel sad about it on Wednesday. This can go on for a long period of time and accept a few relapses because your narcissistic mother-in-law or father will keep adding new chapters to these stages. Your partner's reaction. How your partner will feel and behave is difficult to predict. Some children of narcissists become very insecure and need to be reassured by others around them. A possible explanation for this insecurity could be the new reality they have to deal with. The new reality tells them that all they used to believe in, child-parent relationship, upbringing, having a great parent, is not true, and that they've lived in a fake reality their entire life. A common question arises. How can I trust my intuition? During these stages, it is important to support your partner, and the best way to do so is by helping your partner rebuild their self-esteem. Discuss the fact that your partner needs to be reassured all the time and that this doesn't help your partner. That doesn't make sense. It says discuss the fact that your partner needs to be reassured all the time and that doesn't help your partner grow more confident. I don't know why that doesn't make sense. Tell your partner that you will not reassure him or her all the time and that you are doing this to help them. It's likely that your partner keeps coming up with new questions and tries to find new answers. This progressing quest is very important to you for your partner because it helps them put all the puzzle pieces together. At the same time, the quest is tiring and frustration for both of you. Because every new discovery or every realization, puzzle pieces, is associated with emotions and reprocessing. This takes a lot of energy that can't be spent on other things. This likely results in mood swings or more longer periods of sleeping. During the period, your partner changes and adjusts to the new situation. Sometimes this means that the relationship with the narcissistic mother-in-law ends or significantly cools down, but it could also affect your partner's self-esteem and take on life. Your partner may become stronger, more confident, and might want to pursue his or her own dream goals, which in turn could lead to more frustration and arguments. How does this affect me? For you as a partner, this could mean that you'll experience emotions and feeling of despair, frustration, anger, helplessness, and sadness. These feelings and emotion naturally produce to urge to change things and to protect your partner. However, this could backfire when your partner doesn't feel the support he or she needs. Feeling pressure from two sides, you and the narcissistic mother-in-law, could lead to marital crisis. Therefore, it's important to invest in ways of communicating. It's better to have good and long conversations about what to expect and how to behave, where and when, rather than making assumptions and causing misunderstandings all the time. Regarding the previously mentioned feelings of despair, anger, frustration, sadness, and helplessness, find someone else to talk to. Keep a journal or find some support groups online. It's also important to protect yourself from creating a distance between you and your in-laws. The bigger the distance between the two of you, the easier it will be to refrain from being emotionally involved in their mind games. So one more thing, what to do when you have a narcissistic mother-in-law. During the stages, it's important to be there for your partner, but also look out for yourself. Have a good conversation about the expectations you have of one another. This way you prevent situations from escalating. Find someone to talk to, someone who listens to you. You need to vent as well. And at the moment, your partner is probably not the right person. Allow your partner to feel down and depressed. These mood swings are temporary and most likely have nothing to do with you. Give your partner some space and alone time. Your partner is reprocessing a lot that requires a lot of energy. Beware of the fact that your partner will change a little and that you have to adjust a bit as well. So, it's 30 minutes. Sorry, I messed up on, I'll try to edit that one part, but I just wanted to read that. And I got this from barenpsychology.com. You can read the article online, but I just wanted to come on here because I haven't been on in a while. I hope today's video will help you. I want to do a Q&A. I finally have enough subscribers to do a Q&A. So, I don't know. I was thinking about doing it on Sunday if y'all want. Because Saturday I have to take my son to a water park. Indoor water park. But I don't know. I hope y'all had a good Christmas. I hope you didn't let your in-laws ruin it. Don't do that. Love yourself. Forget them. Who cares? Peace, love, and harmony. I really love you guys. And thank you for all the emails and comments and encouragement that you give me. Because, to be honest, it does take a lot of nerve of me to come on YouTube and talk about this, because you never know if my mother-in-law sees it or not. And if she does, well, maybe it's a good thing. All right. Bye, guys.